Hey, so you decided that predicting the future of your animation is important. Great! This is a big step for you because, as I have mentioned before, a lot of people underestimate the power of the storyboard. Not you! Very good! What I'm going to share with you today is a free lesson of our training, Storyboard Mastery. In this particular lesson, I'm gonna show you how you can create a storyboard from zero. I'm gonna be taking a joke and I'm gonna turn it into a storyboard, putting my visual ideas into paper. My imagination in paper. So enjoy, this is a free lesson. Hi, Mark Diaz here for 2danimation101.com. In this lesson, I'm gonna show you how to create a storyboard from zero. So the story we're gonna be doing is the joke of the hunters. The joke is super simple. It's about two hunters, one of them falls, and then the other one calls to emergencies. And then the operator on the other side answers, okay, well, how can I help you? Oh, my friend is dead. And then the operator just says, okay, first make sure he's actually dead, and then silence on the line, and then okay, now what? It's super simple. I didn't have to write it. I know it. I just read it. But it's so short. The question is, how do I imagine it, right? And by the way, this version of the storyboard, it's not the best version, okay? Just so you know. After learning everything you know, you will see that I used very regular angles. All the angles are straight angles. There's no low angle or high angle. There's nothing super duper interesting in this storyboard. So the challenge is gonna be for you to improve it. But right now, I'm gonna just create it to show you how I work with the first original idea, okay? So for that, I'm gonna be using this lesson is gonna be divided in two. One is I'm gonna do it digitally, and then I'm gonna show you how would I do it if I had no computer and no drawings, no drawing screen, and I had to do everything on paper. I'm gonna show you that too. Okay, so let's get it started with the digital version. For that, I'm gonna use Storyboarder. Let me share you my screen. There it is. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new storyboard. It's gonna be blank, and then it's gonna be HD. Then I'm gonna go to, let me go to storyboard, and in there I'm gonna create project files. Oh, there was already one there. Oh yeah, for the start. Okay, in here I'm gonna create a new storyboarder. Now the name is gonna be the hunters. Then I press enter. Okay, so from here, all I do is I'm gonna pick the pencil. Now remember, for this storyboard, the first time I did it, it took me like 25 minutes. That's what is going to roughly take me this time too. But I'm gonna do it in fast forward, so you don't take that much time. You understand that I'm drawing. But the first couple of frames, I'm gonna do it in real time so you can see how fast it is. So the first thing I do is I'm gonna imagine the idea. Okay, it's starting. I'm not gonna start right away. I'm gonna do a setting, an establishing shot, so we understand we are in the jungle. So it's gonna be a shot of the jungle, and then some sound that lets you know that it's a jungle, like ooh, 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 ah, 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 or some sounds, right? So when it starts, you go, oh, okay, it's the jungle, just to give some context. And then I'm gonna start the story with the hunters. So the very first frame is just gonna be this. Look, I just take the pencil, and then all I do is this. This is the jungle right there. But in here, I'm gonna specify jungle, right? In the notes, I can go to the notes in here, and I can type just the image of a jungle with sounds of the jungle, like animals. And I like animals. Okay, that's it. That's the first image. It took me like less than a minute, right there. Then I'm gonna create a new panel. Okay, the next panel is my two hunters. So in here, remember, your main priority in this first draft of the storyboard is just to put your whatever it's in your head, put it on paper or on the screen. That's what we want. We want to do this as fast as possible. So I'm not gonna go, oh, it has to look pretty. No, remember, it has to be sketchy. It has to be fast. So let's do this. For this, I'm just gonna do this. Look, this is one hunter right there. But I do need the body language and emotional expression. So here's gonna be struggling. He's gonna be carrying his friend. So that's why I'm putting a hunchback, right? And then with his arm, he's holding his friend right here. And then this is the arm of the friend, right? Now, remember, the next thing is instantly I need to understand that this guy is doing some effort. So what I do is just put the face of someone making an effort. He's gonna be really pushing it like this. And then for the mouth, I just do this. Right there. Now I can understand he's pushing it, then his hunter hat, right here, and then his friend hanging in there. For the friend, I'm just gonna put the face right there, then his hat right here, then his friend is fainting, like very, very weak right there, and then put one of his arm hanging, and then there you go. So instantly I can understand that this character is helping his friend, right? That's the first. Now I'm gonna move this a little bit to the center and more a little bit below. There you go, with the move tool. Okay, that's the second one, right? So as you can see, I didn't go in and then put a lot of details. No, just need the face and the body. That's it. And just the detail of the hat. So I understand they are hunters. That's it. But I do need to put facial expression. Remember, even if your drawing is crappy, there has to be facial expression and body language. So in this image, even though it's super sketchy, you understand it's a person carrying another one, right? Now, because the story is called The Hunters, we understand they are the hunters, right? But that's the idea. Now, what I'm gonna do is, as you can see, it took me very little time. All I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna proceed doing the rest of the storyboard in fast forward, okay? Just so I don't take much of your time, it's probably gonna take me like 25 minutes, okay? Let's do that. I'm gonna do it in fast forward. Okay, that's it. Now let's check it out. I'm gonna go to the beginning. So it starts with the jungle, right? And then the two hunters are walking, and then animal sounds. Actually none of this is part of the actual joke. But I wanted to start with the characters, and then something happens in here, and then the friend collapses, right? For the original version, it was just the hunter carrying him, and then he's so tired that he lets him go. And then animal sounds again, and then he gets worried. Oh my god! And then the friend in the ground, and then he gets scared. Then the animals come down, and he's actually asking for help. he dials the phone and then zzz, and actually, let me just tell you this. After this shot, when he dials 1-on-1, originally it was like this. The operator would answer. This shot was inserted later after some feedback. So I'm gonna just take it and put it at the very end. So you can see the first version. Okay, so this was the original version I came up with. They dial the phone, and then 1-on-1 emergencies, how can I help? And then we're in grave danger. He's kind of whispering because there's an animal out there. My friend is dead. Okay, calm down, breathe. Then he starts breathing. Okay, listen carefully. First, make sure he's actually dead. This is the part of the joke. And then, just like in the joke, and then she says, what the heck? What is that? And then, okay, now what? And then she's petrified. But let me go back. When I started showing this to friends and some people on my team, like, hey, what do you think? And they obviously like, oh my God. Most of them didn't. Actually, none of them have heard of this joke, so they laughed. But then, being more objective, when I was from here, they went like, you know what? Before the answer, you should show the friend again, so the danger is there. Like, oh, that he's calling because he thinks his friend he's dead. So one friend told me like, what if there's the body and there's this little fight? So that would make you think that his friend is actually dead. So I created this. It was my friend's idea, not mine. So after he calls, let me put it in place. After he calls, we see this shot, right? And then the operator, right? No, actually, in the final scene, the way we did it was like this. And well, actually, I did the whole thing alone, just to prove that everything can be accomplished by one person. But the feedback, you need feedback from other people. So he's scared, then the animal sounds, then we see the friend probably dead, and then he calls, and then she answers, my friend is dead, da 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 da. Now, there was another idea that my friend, I don't remember if it was Gustavo or Saro, but one of them told me, dude, what if you put the hunter, like when she says, make sure he's actually dead. After that, we put the shot, well, I do the shot of the friend the hunter being like confused, like what the? And then he looks at his friend coming up with a stupid idea of making sure he's dead. So for me, it was hilarious. I'm going to do that really quick in fast forward. Let me share my screen. Then in here, I'm just going to create a new shot. So now we have this. We have, okay, first make sure he's actually dead. And then, what? And then he looks at his friend. And that idea, I loved it. So yeah, I included. But I got this version after some feedback. So I got 2 modifications. And then, of course, the rest of the story is as it is. And that's it, right? Now, all of this was in total, let me show you my screen. It was in total 24 panels, right? I can go to the beginning and then show you the whole thing, right? So that's it. You have access to this storyboard, so you can check it out for yourself. If you have storyboarded, it is free totally. And now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna switch and I'm gonna show you how you can do this on paper. Okay, let me pause this. Okay, so let's say that I did it manually with pencil and paper and I used index card. The flexibilities that I get from doing it like this is that I can see, for example, okay, yeah, the forest, and then they are moving forward, and then the leaves, gorilla hiding in the jungle, and then, the friend falls. gorilla sounds, and then he gets scared. Then the friend in the ground. Then he, oh my God, he has to call, and then the emergency, right? Now, when I have it like this, I have a little bit of flexibility. For example, in between these two, what if I put another one that I came up with that is this one? The animal calming down, so he has the chance to make a phone call. So for that, all I do is this. Let me do this in fast forward. Okay, so now I have this adjustment. The friend is in the ground, and then the animal starts calming down. The gorilla or something. Then he calls, and then 101 emergencies. Now, again, this is an idea that comes from one of my friends that, hey, what if we show this image of the friend in the ground and then a fly to give the idea of the friend, maybe he's dead, right? So for that, I do that adjustment, and I can move the cards around again and put this. Oh, by the way, notice this. This is panel 7. And then in between those two, I put 7B. It's a little bit crappy to see, but 7B. And because I'm going to put this after 8, it's going to be 8B. Sorry, it's going to be 8B. So let me do that adjustment. Okay, and now I have that adjustment, right? He's scared, and then the animal calming down, he calls, and then zzz, and then 101 emergencies. Now there comes another adjustment that goes after this. First, make sure he's actually dead, and then comes this idea of the hunter being what, and then this is the moment in which he considers the worst idea ever. Like, he's confused, and then he actually, in here, let me just draw the eyebrows really quick, because he doesn't like the idea he's coming up with. So he's like, what? And then he's considering it. No, it's gonna be murder. So what I'm gonna do is I just put, this goes after 14. So this is gonna be 14B and 14C, right? Let me put it in fast forward. There you go. Now we have the complete scene. The forest, The first adjustment is after 7, the gorillas comes down. And then he calls, the fly. And then 101 emergencies, how can I help? Oh, we are in grave danger, calm down, blah, blah, blah. First, make sure he's actually dead. And then, and then the punchline, right? So that's how you do it in paper. Now, one last important note is that when you have it as index cards, you can carry them around. You just put a rubber band in it and you're good to go. You can carry it anywhere you want to ask for feedback. That's it for this video. Now, if you're interested in the full training, you can get it at its lowest price since we just launched it today. You will have 1 week to get it for only $39. After October 17, 2019, this year, the price is going to go up to $97. And we will never offer it as low as the launch. So enroll now, get the best version of your visual ideas on paper, and I'll see you inside.